Stop. Don't buy that Picks package or all access. Wait, what? Yep, don't click add to cart until you check out our new deals page at both WagerTalk and Sports Memo, where you can find all the latest offers, promotions, and coupons available all in one place. These deals are updated daily and can be found by clicking deals in the nav at WagerTalk or Sports Memo, going to wt.buzz/deals, or scanning the QR code on your screen.
What's up, guys? Welcome in right here to WagerTalk TV. You're watching Puck Time. I'm Andrew McInnis. I have Carmine Bianco with me, Lawrence Presman in his usual Wednesday spot. Looking forward to breaking down these games for you guys today. Some series tied up, some series, well, we have elimination games, on the brink right now, and looking forward to breaking things down. The scoring continues. You look at last night's card, Edmonton, another high-scoring game there. Tampa Bay, high-scoring there. St. Louis series, that one had some goals as well. The scoring in the NHL continues, and it's the playoffs. You know, you thought it might change. I guess it has not, but an unbelievable night of hockey last night. And first of all, I just want to thank all of you for joining me on my 5% MLB $2 Tuesday play. A lot of you guys joined me on it. It was an underdog ticket on the Mariners. We got there and cashed it, so I appreciate everyone for joining me on that play. All of us have some plays up for today, including a 5%, I believe, from our guest, the Prez. Looking forward to hearing about that in a few moments. But Carm, how was your night as far as hockey goes, and how's your stay in Punta Cana?
Yeah, man, it is good. I sent you guys some pictures of some stuff that was going on here. I went to this really odd but fun thing. It's I think the Prez referred to it as a silent disco. He'll tell you about it. They called it the Neon Silent Party, and you literally give you headsets where you can listen to three different genres of music. Of course, me being as old as I am, I went with the old school music, and you're just drinking there. You're having drinks, and everyone's in the sand, dancing and listening to this music and singing, and you can't hear anybody else sing. And it's pretty good. That it's actually good that people can't hear me sing, because I don't have the voice of a Bocelli. I can tell you that much. But it was so much fun. Got back to the room later on to watch the Oilers game. Felt bad for the guys, man. I'm telling you, you watch the Oilers ones, and I had discussions with some of my friends who are huge Oiler fans, and you can't blame McDavid on this one. What's the guy supposed to do? The guy literally is carrying the team. The Draisaitl line, Andrew, was completely outplayed by the Danault Moore line. And when your number two line gets outplayed like the Oilers one did last night, it pretty much negates anything that the number one line is doing for you. And then, of course, it's the reoccurring theme. Mike Smith. Throughout that game, he either looked like a Vezina Trophy winner, or he looked like they had pulled the goalie already, because he let in some soft ones. I feel sorry for Oilers fans. They had no cap space. Ken Holland, he's stuck with those contracts. He should have done something to bring in a goalie. He didn't, and they're going to pay for it. Whether they can win Game 6 and force a Game 7, we'll see. Speaking of good games last night, Prez, man, you're at the Leafs game, Game 5. You actually played a ticket on the Leafs to win 6-3, and well, they almost got there, man. I think you are good luck, you and Viv. You should definitely get tickets to Game 7 in Toronto, because they might need that luck. How you doing?
I'm doing awesome, Carm. Firstly, the old man music you were listening to, Ella Fitzgerald?
A little more updated than that.
Louis Jordan, Bill Haley in the
like
Comets.
Anyway,
Andrew's like, who are these people? Never heard of any of them. Bill Haley and the Hoodas? Anyway, Andrew, that's rock around the clock for you youngins. Somebody typed into the chat room that the Leafs were down 3-0 last night. That is not true. They were down 2-0. The Leaf game last night was unbelievable fun. The place was absolutely rocking. And then Tampa Bay scores 2 goals, and Carm and Andrew, it was the entire arena was despondent. I mean, the people around me, here we go again. Oh, my God, no. And then they scored that one goal, and The whole place erupted. It was just such a fun night. I made a 6-3 bet on the Leafs. It was a $5 bet because Carmine texts Vivian and I saying Leafs win 6-3. So I'm like, okay, what the hell, $5? I think it paid like $150 or something. I don't remember, but it wasn't a winner.
It was 30 to 1 odds, and
30 to 1.
Yeah, and I'll just say quickly, I don't want to take away your thing there.
I don't care.
I said on the show, because I had no skin in the game, that I thought Tampa would win that game. They came out strong, but you're going to the game. I'm not going to text you and Viv and say, "Hey man, enjoy the game tonight. Tampa's going to kill you guys." So I'm not that type of guy.
I have text. So this was the only game you didn't do that. Oh my God, Carm, you're so full of shit.
I know, but you're going to the game. I didn't want to do it when you're going to the game.
Edmonton, you've done it before. Edmonton Oilers, boys. Listen, I was on them last night. I was also on Carolina, so I did go 1-1. I'm now on a 9-2, 47-19 run. I mean, just crazy numbers. But I am shocked by Edmonton. And you watch them play, and there are spurts where you feel like this team can beat any team in the league. Their puck possession is unbelievable. Their skating is incredible. It's so shocking to me because I feel like the Leafs are snake bitten, but Edmonton can't get out of their own way. It's just crazy mistakes. Crazy turnovers. I'm baffled, but here I am going to suggest that everyone take Edmonton as a series play. Somehow I think they're going to pull this damn thing out. Anyway, I got a 5% play up tonight. Make sure to take advantage of that. Head over to WagerTalk and grab it. Andrew, that's it, man. Let's get into these games, baby.
Good stuff, man. Best of luck with your 5% play. I know you've been running pretty hot with those plays. Real quick, I just want to say that I'm disappointed in the Oilers too, because I took them plus 825 after I cashed the over 6.5 live. I took them plus 825 before their power play. They go on the power play, score a goal. I'm feeling amazing going into overtime, momentum shift. Like, wow, I really got an 8-1 ticket here.
Yeah.
And of course, that happens. That was frustrating, man. I was feeling good. I thought I was a genius. I was like, what? This price is too good to be true. And of course, that happens.
Andrew, it is, but it's a good play in the sense of you take it and you can possibly find a hedge against it in OT if you want to lock in a profit or so. But it's one of those things where Buster would always say it during the regular season is like overtime is where your good bets go to die. And it just happens, right? It really happens. I know we sort of we have like tunnel vision when it comes to like OT and kind of like a poker player who says I always lose with aces. You don't always lose with aces, but we remember all of our OT losses much more than the lucky OT wins. So it's just us as gamblers complaining.
Of course, Carm, we have 3 games to break down today. It's not 4. And that was a mistake on my part. I'm used to just saying that. Of course, the Colorado series is no more. That was the only sweep of the first round. So just 3 games to break down for today. Pittsburgh, New York, Florida, and Washington. And, of course, the nightcap with the Dallas Stars and Calgary Flames. Let's jump into the first one here, a game that I actually broke down a little bit on Prez's show yesterday. Pittsburgh and New York. We've got Pittsburgh plus 115 on the highway. New York minus 135 favorites at Madison Square Garden. Total sits at 6 in this one. Again, it is an elimination game. Pittsburgh up 3-1. And I will just go to you, Carm, with this note. When I first started this series, my thoughts going into this series, I was thinking under between these two clubs. And that's changed. And so, Prez and Teddy do their What Did You Learn segment on their show. I'll say what I learned is that you have to adapt. You can't just stick with your game plan. You got to adapt in the middle of a game, so to speak. And that's kind of what I've done with this series, is kind of switch towards the over. Whether it's been Shesterkin playing average or below average, or a third stringer being there for Pittsburgh, or just the pace of play between both teams, there's been plenty of goals to go around in this series, and they're coming in spurts. I think the biggest difference as far as why Pittsburgh's up 3-1 right now, Carm, is because we're seeing the depth from them. And I talk about that all the time, but when you've got guys like Jeff Carter and Evan Rodriguez getting a couple goals, that's a problem for the New York Rangers, because, of course, Sidney Crosby and Gensel, they're going to do what they do. But as far as the New York Rangers, they aren't really getting that scoring spread out throughout their lineup. But for my pick, Carm, I'm going to just not think twice about it and go with the over 6, especially in an elimination game where I always preach those in-game overs. Except for this time, I won't say wait for the in-game. I'll say bet it right now. Expect a high-scoring game, over 6. What are your thoughts, Carm? Pens are up 3-1.
Yeah, Andrew, I echo your thoughts. The problem with me in this series has been that I haven't been involved in the series, and it's too late for me to want to jump in on Pittsburgh, because I should have done that after game 2. I should have been on Pittsburgh in game 3, because they have literally, the Rangers have done nothing to move the players who are in front of the net each and every game in front of Shesterkin. They're getting tap-ins. They're getting second and third rebounds. They haven't cleared the front of the zone at all in front of him, and he's gotten hung out to dry, allowing 14 goals. They've scored 14 goals in 2 home games. And I get it. There's some series where it's been a homer series, kind of like the Carolina-Boston one, but the Rangers just haven't shown up in this series. Can they do it tonight and send it back to Pittsburgh for game 6? Certainly they can. And the price is almost low enough where you're figuring the books think the same as well too. I think it could very well end tonight. But if you're looking at totals, and you mentioned it at the top of the show, when you're looking at totals, so far in the playoffs, the over is 23, 12, and 1. But if you break that down even further, normally where you would think you'd see a lot of overs is in the Western Conference. The Western Conference overs are only 10 and 8 through the playoffs this season. So slightly profitable depending on what the VIG might have been on those 8 losses. In the Eastern Conference, 13, 4, and 1 are the overs thus far. And those unders are coming in the Florida series. So it's a bit of a shock there from the highest scoring team. You got 4 of them here, Andrew. I'm going to look at the over. I'm going to look at the first period over as well too. I tend to like those ones. The Carolina one, those totals were at 5.5. I went with the first period overs, and then I went to 6, and I still went the first period over, and it hit again last night. I'm going to go with the first period over here. Prez?
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's hard to follow that, Carm. By the way, I like that blue shirt you're wearing. That's a nice color on you. Oh, I'm so sweet. Anyway,
what a
real
nice
quick before
compliment.
we get into that game, I want to shout out Andy Lang is 13-2 these hockey playoffs. Andrew McInnis 12-5 in the hockey playoffs. I am 10-5. Ralph Michael 7-3. Just some incredible stuff going on at WagerTalk.com, and also every single $2 handicapper won yesterday. All 3 guys at Sports Memo and Andrew McInnis at WagerTalk. Perfect 4-0 sweep. Thousands of happy customers. As for this game, listen, I like the over a lot here. Pittsburgh was 7 goals in their last 2 games. I find me a time when the New York Rangers led in 7 goals, 2 games in a row. I don't think it happened all year, but what we're seeing now is Shesterkin really lacking confidence. Carm really said it well. The Rangers just cannot clear the front of the net. Sidney Crosby is playing really, really, really good hockey right now. I look at this game and I think to myself, man, don't overthink this thing on 2 levels. One, every one of these games have gone over so far. I see no reason why it's not going to go over. The number is 6. 6 is indicative of what Andrew was saying. Everybody, Andrew, myself, and all the bookmakers thought this series was going to play to the under. They did it based on the New York Rangers more than anything else, and they're in their season form. Sorry. Pittsburgh went over the total 44 times this season and under 39. The New York Rangers were under 36 times, were over 36 times, under 47. So everybody basically built this line around the fact that the New York Rangers were going to shut down Pittsburgh, and that just didn't happen. I think Pittsburgh is going to keep getting their goals tonight. And we got to remember, Pittsburgh's on their third string goalie right now. I think the Rangers are going to get their goals tonight. I'll tell you exactly how I would bet this game on all fronts. I would take the New York Rangers in the first period. I would take over the total in the first period. I would take the New York Rangers on the game. And I would take over the total on the game. Though that's how I am going to bet this game tonight. I think the Rangers will win tonight. And I think we're going to see another high-scoring hockey game.
Great information there, Prez. And I think just like yourself, no matter who wins, I think the over cashes. And I wanted to say about Shesterkin, a goaltender that you talk about confidence. I feel like that's a big word to use because that's really a lot of what it is right now with him. But also, I've been saying it all year long, Prez, that I really thought that the Rangers put more pressure on him than needed. And he got credit, obviously, for these award nominations and stuff like that. But I don't think people really understood, how many games he was winning for them. And now you see him playing average or below par. And now you see what's happening, But I never played goaltender in my life, Prez. But for some reason, I always feel the urge to defend goaltenders. And the team's not playing too well either. Adam Fox hasn't played well. Chris Kreider, Zibanejad. This is the game the forwards have to play well, too, not just Shesterkin. So I'm with you.
Yeah, but Andrew, listen, I don't know. I don't know if Shesterkin had all this pressure on him that you're talking about because, look, they got one of the best defensemen in all of the league in Fox. They've got depth at scoring up front. We could name, 3, 4, 5 guys that can score, 3 of them that are like actual legit star goal scorers. They got a good coach, and they're playing an old hockey team. Gino, Crosby, Letang, that's the core of this Pittsburgh team, and the 3 best guys in last game as well. Look, I'm blown away by Edmonton. This one doesn't shock me, but I did expect the Rangers to win the series. And, hey, they're going to start their comeback tonight.
All right. Hey, Prez, I'm cheering on my 9-1 Eastern Conference ticket on the Penguins. So we're kind of head-to-head. Maybe I'll give you the win tonight, and hopefully the Penguins
There's no head-to-head, dude. Cheer away, man. Do you?
Sounds good. Sounds good.
You guys are awesome.
Should be a great game, though. Look forward to it. And I want to, again, just preach that third period over that I've talked about so many times and for years with these 2 gentlemen as well about the elimination games and the empty net goals and just the pace of play and how it changes in the third period. You can also bet, I mentioned this with Marco and it cashed in the Colorado game. You can also bet prior to the start of the game, which period will be the highest scoring period. Pretty much every book offers that. And you're going to get a great plus price on the third period being that highest scoring period. So I will recommend looking at that. Also,
I love it.
Been a while since we saw an overtime, guys. It's plus 345 for tonight for this game to go to overtime. Might be a little sprinkle for me on that. Just, the big intense game that it really is for tonight. All right, Prez, we're going to go to you for the next game with the Florida Panthers and Washington Capitals. You just spoke about Chris Letang, Malkin, Crosby, experience and how that is really important in the playoffs. And well, we really are finding that out in this series as well with playoff experience with the Capitals and the Florida Panthers going head to head. We have the Panthers minus 225, Capitals plus 185. The series is tied 2 games apiece. And Prez, when I look at this series, we really didn't think the Florida Panthers were going to just immediately turn into the same team in the playoffs that they were in the regular season, scoring 5 or 6 goals. But I didn't expect Ilya Samsonov to play the way he has in goal and really shut down the Panthers like they have. What are your thoughts here on Game 5, total at 6.5?
Andrew, listen, I absolutely love the spot for Florida. Washington was 1 inch away from being up 3-1 in this series. They had a shot at the empty net up 2-1 with about a minute and change to go. It literally hit the outside of the goalpost. It missed the net by this much. Yes, that much. Yes, all you people can make comments. Go ahead. I mean, it was literally, they missed it by a circumcision. There you go. I found something. And then Florida came back, scored, and won the game in overtime. And I got to believe from an emotional perspective, regardless of how veteran their vets are, this Washington team has to be reeling over that loss. They had a stranglehold on this series, and now I don't know if they're going to win another game. I think we're going to see Florida at their best tonight. They are minus 130 in regulation. Take that play. And I think that this game is the first period over the total. And I think this game is going to be a high-scoring hockey game. So Florida in regulation, first period Florida over the total. That's how I'm betting this game. That's how. And honestly, a game of inches, bro. I mean, it's unbelievable that Washington had this series not in the bag, but I mean, it's very hard to lose a series when you're up 3-1, and I don't know if they're going to win another game, bro. No,
they were close to being
attitude.
in a really, really good position, like you mentioned, and to miss an empty like that. And they were actually on the TNT broadcast, Prez. They were debating between the 4 panelists. Should he go for the empty or should he chip it in and kill time? And of course, the icing resulted in a goal for Florida. So, but 9 times out of 10, you're going to make that shot. I want to go to Carmine, but real quick, Prez, I got to ask you, because I had a 5% losing ticket on the team total for the Panthers. It was pretty much dead halfway through the game. But I truly still believe and stand by what I said, that if the Panthers win a game, their next game, they're going to go over that team total. Like you mentioned, you expect a high-scoring game. So with minus 225 as the money line here, and you can get a better price at over 3.5 team total goals. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Oh, are you asking me? I'm reading Trey Smith's freaking. I want to comment to Trey. I don't know who this guy is. He never watches Wager Talk today. First, he tells me that I'm an idiot on the New York Rangers because I think the series is just starting. I never said that. I think that the Rangers win tonight. That's what I said. And then he writes, then he goes off about my Florida. Geez, Florida hasn't won a game convincingly yet, and I have so much confidence in Florida. Trey, if you're so good at picking in hockey, send me the link to your show, your company, where we can buy your stuff. Otherwise, read my record, bro. I got this sport down pat. I know what I'm talking about. I watch every game. Anyway, I don't even know what question you asked me, Andrew. The answer is yes.
You know what? I shouldn't have asked it.
Sorry, man. I read these comments and I'm like, what are these, like, how angry do adults have to be that they got to like start with people? Like, we're all doing this. We're having fun. We're having a good chuckle, a good laugh. We're giving out good information. Anyway,
hey,
love you.
If you thought bullying was bad in school when you were in school, how about with social media now? I feel bad for the generation below me. So that's rough. But Carm, I asked Prez if he thinks the Florida Panthers can lose a low scoring or win a low scoring game. Do you believe they can? Because I don't think they can win a game without scoring 4 or 5 goals, Carm.
No, I liked your play when you made it. I thought it would be. There would be goals in that game. I think I took over 6.5 in that game. And yeah, Andrew, I don't think they win. They win 2-1 games. Listen, we talked about Washington coming into this series, and they would have to put on a masterclass as far as defense goes. Much like that, and I referenced back to just before the season was over, they played those 2 games against, I think it was the Rangers and Pittsburgh on the weekend, and beat them both, playing a defensive game similar to what they're doing right now. They're not giving Florida a lot, but I think it's more of Florida just hasn't looked the same in the playoffs as they did during the regular season. Sometimes we talk about that offense, not offense and scoring, not translating into a proper playoff style hockey, and they'll be better off if they can get through this series, obviously, and play the winner of that Tampa-Toronto one, which will probably be filled with goals. But with that said, I have to echo what you guys said. I think Washington missed their shot, man. That empty net goal, if it goes in, very much this series is likely over. As good as Florida is, I just don't know if they beat Washington playing that same style 3 straight games. But this is one of those ones, Andrew, when you look at the game, and I'm looking at the total again, and Prez kind of took my show best bet away from me. When you look at the game, I'm still sort of looking at goals, because I have to figure Washington blew their shot in Game 4. This game now goes back to Florida. How does Washington respond? If they respond with the exact same game they played in Game 4, then there's a good chance that they could win Game 4, much like they won Game 1 of the series 4-2. Very similar type game. But if Florida comes out and they have any momentum from that win, I have to believe they're gonna blow Washington's doors off in this game. That might be the square approach to this, but it's just how it feels as far as how some of these series have gone. It's going to be the Florida for me here, and I like Prez's in regulation time as well.
Yeah, Andrew, real quick, XCal thinks I'm a Taurus. I'm actually a Gemini, and one of the listeners called out my left arm. There's the right arm. There's the left arm. So now you have seen them both. Sorry to interrupt.
Prez, I'm putting myself on record. I'm putting myself on record because when I saw you, great to meet you in Burlington, Ontario, and great dinner. And you were like, dude, you're a pretty tall guy and stuff, but why don't you really work out? And I was like, man, I would have bet all the money I possibly could have that Prez would have said this to me. So this summer, I'm ready. I've already started. I've been going hard to the gym for at least 4 or 5 weeks. You won't get a flex from me right now, but at start of next hockey season, I'll give you a flex. You have my word. And I'm putting that out there, not just, because you always say everybody give a flex. I'm doing that so I can hold myself accountable, so I can get in the gym just like yourself. So looking forward to my fitness journey.
I'm proud of you, Andrew. So I don't know if you guys see the comments that don't get, like, there are comments where people swear and say like things that won't get past the YouTube censor, so nobody gets to see them. I don't know if you guys get to see that because I'm in the WagerTalk admin account, but some guy literally just wrote, Prez, imagine if your woman was giving head to Dave Shesterkin.
No way. No. Okay.
Out of the blue was that?
I don't even know what to say to this. I don't even know
what is going on your shows, Andrew.
Listen, I love our chat. I don't have the capability like, let's say, Prez or the admins or whatever do, so I can't toss people out or whatever. But our admin looks if there's bad comments, and someone said that.
It's hilarious.
I don't want to get involved in arguments because I'm too strong-willed. I love arguing with anyone. It's part of the sport. We're always going to have differing opinions. When Buster is on, and I responded to a lot of comments after yesterday's video was posted, I love Buster on Tuesdays because him and I, even when we see we're on opposite sides, we can agree to disagree. But that's what makes the show. You don't want 3 guys on here patting each other on the back and all agreeing on the same play. That's not what this show is. And I want our chat I don't want
Get
the
back
people
to
in our,
hockey.
listen, hold on a second. Hold on, Prez. Relax. Because when Prez is on, look what I have. I have Pepsid when Prez is on. Because you give me heartburn. But with that said, I want the guys in our chat to talk hockey, to exchange ideas, to exchange betting strategies. They are an extension of our puck time community, and that's what they are. So they're an extension of the show. So just keep on doing it. Rev, Brandon, the rest of you guys, just keep on talking hockey, man.
And not even just in the live comments, but through Twitter. The amount of people that DM or tweet out, love watching the show.
Dude.
We appreciate it, man, quite a bit. We really do. Goaltending, hot goaltenders, Ilya Samsonov, Jake Ottinger. There's so many goaltenders in the playoffs right now. Jonathan Quick, you keep asking yourself, will they maintain what they're doing? And Samsonov has so far. We'll see if he will tonight. How about Jake Ottinger? Let's jump into our final series we will break down with the Dallas Stars, Calgary Flames, Calgary minus 225. We've got Dallas plus 185 right now on the road. Totals at 5.5 in this one. Every single game in this series has gone under the total, besides the one that pretty much went over at the shot clock with just a few moments, and that's a bad beat. But for the most part, this has been a dead nut under series. And you talk about great goaltending with Ottinger and Markstrom. 4 30-goal scorers on the Calgary Flames. And we saw Backlund, Lindholm, and Johnny Gaudreau get involved in the last game, making a huge impact for their team. Prez cashed a big bet on the Flames in regulation, a dominating victory for him there with the Flames. But I look at this minus 225 and the plus 185 here, Carm, and I know they got to go back to the odds that it initially was. It's tied 2-2, but as much as I look at this series, I think the series is closer. You know, I think the Flames are going to get the job done. I would not be shocked if they win this series in 7 games. I think they're going to get the job done. I just don't think it will be easy the rest of the way. And one thing I will say, though, is the play of those couple guys. I don't like to always over-exaggerate with this stuff. Those couple guys scoring is huge for them. The same thing as William Nylander and John Tavares scoring yesterday for the Maple Leafs. I think it's a huge spark for the team. However, Carm, I know it's you as you say, square here, and kind of the obvious play. I'm going right back to the under, my brother. I'm going right back to it. I mean, under 5.5. It's hard to argue it with the way these two teams are playing and the pace of play we're seeing from the Flames and Stars. Could you be the contrarian today, Carm, and go on the over, or are you with me here on the under?
No, I'm agreeing with you, Andrew, on the under here. I said, I think a couple of weeks prior to the playoffs starting, or in the lead up to the playoffs, I was running some simulations on how the season would finish off and who would face who. And I said, I would love to see Dallas face Calgary. And it's mainly because of what we're seeing in the series. Dallas possesses the type of team, and Ottinger is playing extremely well in net, that they could actually upset the Calgary Flames. And Andrew, they're right there. This is 2-2. It's a 3-game series. And everything it stayed under, with the exception of, like you said, that 4-2 game. I don't know how you could look at any of the post-game analytics of any of these 4 games and say, I'm going to play the over. I just don't see how you can do it. I actually thought after game 1 and then prior to game 2, I think we mentioned on the show that this is one of those series where I thought we might see a 5 that is juiced to the under, and you get plus money on the over, or the other way around. Sorry, juiced to the over, plus money on the under 5. Correction there on that one. We haven't, and it's probably because of the scoring that we've seen across the NHL playoffs thus far. But I can't make a case for the over. You got to take the under. Now, I'm going to pose a question to you and to Prez. And Prez, I'll go to you first on this one, because I'm leaning to the under here. If you think Dallas is going to win tonight and they are plus 185, do you take them to win the series instead? Because there are some books that are hanging plus 230, plus 235 on the Stars to win the series.
No. Carm, Teddy and I spoke about this on Wager Talk yesterday, that whole concept of, do you take series bets? I don't listen. I'm not a guy that bets a lot of series bets at all. I find that there's better value in betting throughout. The answer to that question is no. I mean, if I'm going to get a plus 185 on Calgary tonight, on Dallas tonight, and I think they're going to win the series, I'm going to bet the plus 185 tonight. And then I'll come back and bet them again in game 6. They'll be plus money if they win tonight. And then if they lose game 6, I'll bet them again in game 7. And I feel like that's a more effective way of utilizing my money. So no, I will not take the series bet. Edmonton, however, is more interesting because they're down 3-1. But no, I'm not going to take the Calgary-Dallas series bet here. Andrew?
I would more so look at it just if Dallas was down a game in the series and you liked them in that game, then I would say personally I would take the series because I'm betting on them that they're going to tie it up. And then, of course, once they tie it up, that price is completely different. To Prez's point, you can just money line bet each
I don't
game.
hedge bets, Andrew. Hedging bets is a losing proposition in the long run.
Okay, hold on a second.
Hedging. What about?
You're talking about hedging bets. Sorry, Andrew, finish your thought. Sorry.
I wasn't talking about hedging. I was just more so saying that as of right now, tied 2-2 in the series, I would just play the money line. But if they're down 1, like if it was 3-2 Calgary and I like Dallas to win tonight, I would just play the series. But you'd have to only play that, in my opinion, if you actually thought they had a chance of winning the series, not just because of the quote-for-quote value. And kind of like what I said, Carm, before, I think Dallas stands a chance of keeping this series very close, but I don't think they can win it. So to me, it's kind of like what you say in the NFL. You're taking a team plus 3.5 or plus, 4.5. Anytime you do that, you should go into that game thinking they're also going to win the football game. I kind of feel that as well with these series prices. Don't take a plus 250 series price if you don't actually think they're going to win. Does that make some sense?
No, it does. I'm just saying my thought process, I guess, and it was you're looking at sort of the game 5 money line, and if you had, and books don't offer open parlays anymore. If you took Dallas in the next 2 games, Dallas would be a plus 185 tonight. And in game 5 at home, there's still going to be a dog, and they'll probably be even money or plus 110. When that parlay is going to be way a much better price than plus 235. I'm pretty positive of that. So that series price isn't the greatest. My initial thought process was, and then once the press started to talk about it, I started to think about the actual prices and thought, well, that series price is actually worse than it really should be at this point right now. So that was my only point. But the Prez's point of hedging bets, it wasn't meant as taking the series as hedging another bet. And I do hedge bets, but I hedge future bets, as you know. My soccer clients, my soccer clients have right now Real Madrid 18-1 and 33-1. On my releases before the Champions League knockout stages started, and they're in the final now playing against Liverpool, who are minus 180 to lift the trophy. You can easily hedge and guarantee yourself a profit. Sit back and watch the game, and I've given them options on how to do that and make some money. Are you getting 18-1? No, you're not, but you're getting about 7-1 now in your money without having $0 at risk. So why not do it?
Yeah, I want to speak about that hedging because a lot of people are talking about it right now. Listen, I don't make future bets very often. If I make a future bet and I'm holding an 18-1 ticket and they make it to the finals against another team, I will be hedging that bet. I just don't make those bets, so I never find myself in position to hedge them. What I will not do ever, and I mean ever, is if I get, in basketball or football, football, you might get a plus 7.5 and then there's an injury and it drops down to 5. I'm not coming back at -5 and trying to win both bets on 6 and 7. I will never hedge a single game bet ever in my life, no matter what happens with the line. And the reason for that, and this is crucially important, is sports betting is not about what you did today or what you did yesterday. Sports betting is about mathematics and a long-term perspective. And if you are confident you are going to win enough bets in the long term to cover your losses, then every time you hedge, you screw up the math. And that's the reason I do not hedge bets. You want me to talk about the Dallas-Calgary game?
Yes, sir.
Sure.
Okay. I like the under in this game a lot. Andrew, you're right, man. I mean, why are we sitting here overthinking this stuff? We got the hottest goalie in hockey right now on Dallas. Ottinger is lights freaking out right now. And the Dallas team is playing a swarming D. Only one forechecker is going in. Their entire game plan is what the Montreal Canadiens did on their big playoff run. Sit back, make sure they shoot from outside and counterattack. And that type of strategy plays to the under on a regular basis. I think Calgary wins tonight too. I got no problem if people take a parlay. I don't do parlays. Everyone knows that. But if you want to parlay Florida and Calgary on the money line, you can get it down to plus 105. I think that's a good bet. And man, I'm with both of you guys. Under the total in this game for me.
Let's get a snooze fest between these two teams. Expect a defensive battle. Talk about great goaltending. We're certainly seeing it between both these teams. One final note I wanted to mention about the serious wagers is that I think that you need to have a game plan. You can improv and react in the moment, and see what happens. Nobody would have predicted Edmonton being down like they are. So to Prez's point, hey, we step up, maybe say, you know what, Edmonton, the odds are too good. Make a position on that. But I've had several times where prior to a series, I'll say, if this happens, I'll do that. If that happens, if Edmonton won game 1 against LA, I was going to take LA plus 2.5 games. Unfortunately, LA won game 1. As far as the Maple Leafs and Lightning series, I told people on this show, if you like the Lightning, don't bet them to win game 1 and don't bet that series prior to it. Hope the Leafs win the game 1, and then you'll get a great price on the Lightning to win the series after game 1. That's what you got to do. With these future wagers, you want to get the best price possible. And I feel like the hardest part for people to do is go sit on the sidelines if they don't get that price that they wanted. And it's all about shopping around and picking, certain spots to jump in. And well, right now, if you do like Edmonton, like Prez mentioned, it is a great spot and great time to jump on in. Prez, I'm going to go back to you for your best bet. And again, what you have up for grabs for tonight. Of course, that 5% play, and you are rolling right now with 5% plays, not just in hockey, but in all sports, I believe.
Yeah, dude. I mean, my baseball has been outstanding. What a great start to the season. And I've won a bunch of dogs too, a couple of plus 155 dogs in the last week or so. But hockey has just been ridiculous. I want to make one quick mention about, one guy said, well, will you hedge in an in-game bet? So I want to tell you guys a little trick that I use for betting because I make a lot of in-game bets. Everything should be, when you have a portfolio of money in your life, you got to put, 70% of that money in safe mutual funds that are going to return between 8 and 12% a year. You got to put 20% of your money in in a greater risk area, like maybe the stock market or crypto. And then you got to put 10% of your money into private equity deals that give you an opportunity to 10 to 20x your money at the highest risk level possible. You got to do the same with sports betting. 80% of my bankroll sits over here, and I make straight bets, only straight bets, never hedge. 20% of my bankroll sits in another sports book, and I use that for in-game betting. They are separate bankrolls. Very important. Anyway, my best bet for tonight is Barkov to score a goal at plus 130. 30. Loved being on this show, man. I got a 5% play up. Head over and grab it. There's also an odd couple promotion going on. If you want Teddy and my plays all access for the next 3 days, it's only $59. Carm, have an awesome time wherever you are. Andrew, you too. Thanks for having me.
Great to see you, Prez. Best of luck on that 5% play. Best bet for Prez with Barkov to score a goal tonight. Carm, over to you. It's a busy time right now to be a soccer fan and a soccer bettor, sports fan all together right now. What do you have up for grabs for your clients, and what's your best bet?
Yeah, I'm going to get right to it. Hopefully Prez gets his Barkov goals in the first period, because I am going to take the over in the first period. Florida, not the 1.5 that is juiced, but the 2 getting plus money, over 2 plus 106. I'm going to go on, and Andrew, I'm going to take the narrative that Washington blew their chance in Game 4 to take a stranglehold on this series. Florida gains some momentum and hopefully comes out in that first period and dominates this game. I'm going to go over 2. Guys, it is a very busy day for me. 3 plays in NHL for tonight, but 7 plays in soccer today. I've never had 7 plays in one day on one card that I've released of soccer, but it was a lot worse last night going through the games. I had about 10 to 12 games today because there is a ton of midweek action in Europe as the leagues are wearing down. 7 games. They kick off at 2 o'clock today. You can grab that one-day all-access package, $39, and get a bunch of plays. So that is it. Thanks to everyone in the chat. You guys are absolutely awesome. Have a great betting day.
Good stuff there, Carm. Best of luck to you, man. Lots of plays, lots of action. Feel free to grab a day pass from Carm, Prez, or myself. You get every single play for just the price of one day, $39. One play is $25. Guys, I'll jump right into it. One baseball best bet, 4% play up. One hockey best bet, 4% play going tonight. My best bet for this show, the prop plays continue to keep on rolling here. 6-1 now with these prop plays. Going with Chris Kreider over 2.5 shots on goal at -125. The Rangers will go as Chris Kreider goes, and I believe he has a big one tonight, over 2.5 shots on goal, Chris Kreider. As far as the Prez, he's on Barkov to score a goal at a nice +130 price, and Carmine, Bianco, Washington, Florida, first period, over 2 goals at +106. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Stop. Don't buy that picks package or all access. Wait, what? Yep. Don't click add to cart until you check out our new deals page at both WagerTalk and Sports Memo, where you can find all the latest offers, promotions, and coupons available all in one place. These deals are updated daily and can be found by clicking deals in the nav at WagerTalk or Sports Memo, going to wt.buzz/deals, or scanning the QR code on your screen.